on the bus, I thought to myself, was it going to be hard? What are the handcarts like? Is my family gonna like me? Am I gonna have fun? But then I remembered Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ, which strengtheneth me.
You know, words just can't describe the feeling that you get. You get off the bus, you're there, you can smell the dust in your nose, you're like, oh boy, this is gonna be fun.
When I met my family, I was really scared because I have a lot of friends, but I didn't hear any of their names called. And then one of my very good friends was in my family, so it made it easier, but it meant a lot to me that no matter what, there was no judgment or anything from the beginning because I felt right at home. I felt like my mom and pa just welcomed us with open arms and treated us like as if we were their real children.
The Orange game was really awesome.
We had to figure out like something to recognize our orange, and then we all had to throw it into the middle and find it. And that was kind of hard because you had to remember, and then when we were done with that, once we found our oranges, we had to apply it to something, to the gospel or to Jesus or something.
It relates how Jesus Christ thinks of us. My orange was partly, it wasn't fully ripened, and we aren't fully grown into the gospel. We still have to ripen in it, and we still have to get a fuller knowledge of the gospel and to be a better example of Jesus Christ.
What I did was I compared it to us because we all have imperfections.
The Orange game helped us realize that everyone was different and everyone had different talents about them and things that made them unique and stand out.
Well, we packed up our bags to put on the wagon and finally start walking. It took a while to reorganize a little bit so that stuff won't fall out while the tarp was over it, and help put the ropes to surround the thing and have the tarp stay on. Once we got that, we finally started walking.
Well, when we first started packing up the cart, not everything fit.
I was really happy to get going. I had been on that long bus ride, and I was really happy to be getting my families and be ready to go. I was ready to have a great time trekking.
It was really hard the first day because I didn't really know what to expect, and I didn't really know what was happening. I didn't know when we were going to get to eat. I didn't know when we would get to stop and rest. But I did keep a positive attitude because my dad told me to, and I knew that it would make it a lot easier. All the walking was pretty hard. It didn't really get to me until that first night when we were still walking and it was dark, and we just kept walking and kept walking. And
walking, we walked forever. I mean, we walked till 9 o'clock at night.
And walking.
The walking was pretty funny because every time we got around a corner, they'd say, oh, it's just around the next corner. And they kept saying, oh, it's pretty soon.
And walking.
The walking was a lot more difficult than I thought it would be.
And walking.
We really did walk a lot.
It hurt, it did, but I knew that we were gonna make it, so I just kept on walking.
It was pretty tiring. I think one of the most spiritual experiences was when we had that morning devotional on the second day, and all of my brothers and my pa got called on a mission. I think personally that was one of the most spiritual things, knowing that they were feeling that they were, worthy to go and we're going to be able to have that experience.
After the morning devotional, all I could think about was the women's pole.
I was pretty worried about the women's pole.
The women's pole?
The women's pole. The women's pole was really hard, but I had a really strong family. All of my sisters were really strong and really nice, and we all had methods of keeping each other positive. We would sing songs. We reconfigured our cart a little bit so that all of us could contribute
evenly. And our ma helped us, and we pulled for that first hour until we got to the beginning of the women's pull, and we shifted a little bit more so we could have more people pushing in the back to push up the hill, and that helped us a lot. I think it helped get us up the hills.
The women's pull was really difficult. It was so hard. I felt like with each hill I thought it's never gonna end. I'm always gonna be up here, and
I was thinking, oh, this is gonna be super easy, and then we got to our first hill and I was like, oh my gosh, how are we gonna do this? But then we devised a plan. We were just like, you know, we'll take one cart up at a time. So once you had like 15 girls on one cart, we went up those hills super fast. But we were good at communicating, so it helped us really develop a good bond with each other, and I grew closer to my sisters. And
it was really nice to have our brothers and our pa and everyone up, all the priesthood up at the top of the hill cheering us on.
Once I got to the end, I was really happy, especially with all my brothers there, so eager to help us.
And singing for us, it was really great and just made us want to keep working and pushing.
The women's pool was very eye-opening, that the women can do hard things and that they don't just need us, they can do it by themselves. And when we were walking the road that they were going to pull, I could just see how hard it was going to be because of all the rocks and how steep it was.
We are strong, we are proud, we are free!
When I was watching them coming up the hill, it was suspenseful waiting for them to get to the top so I could take the cart from them and just pull the rest of the way, because I could tell that they were tired. After watching the women's pull, I saw the girls can do hard things. I saw it, I know it, and I definitely believe it.
It was just an amazing experience to see them come up and to see them all working together to get that up the hill and to get past that challenge.
I just witnessed a little bit of the inner strength that the young women in this church have, and I just have to say that it's incredible.
I know and believe that I can do hard things, especially through Christ who strengthens me.
I can do all things through Christ which strengtheneth me.
I can do all things through Christ which strengtheneth me.
I can do all things through Christ.
I can do all things through Christ.
I can do all things through Christ which strengtheneth me.
Which strengtheneth me.
I can do all things through Christ which strengtheneth me.
I know I can do all things through Christ who strengtheneth me.